Wake Up with Jim and Sab is exclusively on Spotify.
And if you want to start your own podcast, you can check out anchor.fm.
If you love the pod and you want to support us, make sure you follow us on Spotify. Also, you can tag us on Instagram and Twitter at Wake Up with Jim and Sab. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mama. Wow, nice background.
Do you like that?
Wow.
Okay ba?
Yes, oh, it's Luna.
Okay lang yung
Oh,
back?
yes.
Moving yan eh.
Yes.
Tas meron. O, diba?
Okay, are you recording Zoom, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says recording.
Okay.
You can edit it
Okay.
naman, diba?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Mom,
Well, edit
how's
out
the
anything that you don't want to
Ha?
discuss.
Yeah.
If you want to edit something out, just say it. And
No, kayo. I don't
I
care.
I know about. Well, I was very parang very entertained by Sab's kwento of your dynamite neighbors.
Yeah. We're
Yun,
not
I
gonna
don't,
name names, but
yeah. But that one, you can't broadcast that.
why?
Really?
Because, diba, I don't even post about them because they'll, diba?
You can
Because,
tell us about it.
Hindi, parang in general lang. Like, there's, so you have neighbors who are unruly.
New neighbors
New neighbors.
yeah,
that just moved
hopefully,
in.
not for long.
Incredibly unruly.
Yeah.
Would you say
Since
this is the worst
Yeah,
ever?
it's the worst ever. It's on a whole different level.
Mom sent me some
Really?
videos and as in parang drunken nights, lasing, nag-aaway, nagmumurahan, nagbabasagan.
And that's
Katawa.
video from Clara, ha?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
From her, all the way
Grabe.
from her room.
Why?
It's on the opposite side, yeah. You know her
Oh,
room,
Yeah.
diba, Jim? Like,
so
it's
it's
the
Yeah.
stairs.
near Bark's room.
Yeah, it's opposite of Bark. And then
Yeah.
I'm the
Oh.
one who's across from the house next door. But uh, that night, I couldn't call the guard to complain. So I said, I'm just going to close again all my windows and doors. Which is I don't have air conditioning in this room by choice because I have a ceiling fan. It's good enough for me. But I should have air circulating, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
There should be cross ventilation. But no, I had to close everything. And so I was in a box.
Grabe.
Yeah. And so
And
like Clara happened to shoot it. And so did Gliza because
yeah.
I saw when I woke up at 6 in the morning that she had sent me a message at 2:40 in the morning
Ano
saying
yung nakalagay kay sa'yo?
saying, "Ma'am, wala pa akong tulog." And then she
mga
says, and then her BS is boy shit.
No, I think she meant buisit.
Yeah. I just looked at
Bui
it as BS. I think she meant buisit, but she said boy shit. Love it, huh? Let's
Pero
credit that word to her.
Mm.
so how many years have you lived there and how many years na ba yung house
Yeah,
you
we've
live?
been here since 98.
1998.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's 23 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our first home that we own. We really own.
Wow.
We were
Oh.
renting all the time, and we started like um with banig on the floor
Yes.
and mattress because that was also how my folks used to do
Mm.
it. And so
Mm.
like I experienced that also as a can't say toddler. You can't remember all the way till toddlerish days,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
But I do remember like we just had really minimal furniture because also for our safety so that we wouldn't bang our heads maybe and all.
Mm.
But it's also part of the fun that
Yes.
we were just renting and being nomads.
Mm.
And until of course there's a certain time that thank God my mom said you can't just keep buying stuff. You have to buy your own home. Yeah,
and
because if
and
not, we just buy stuff.
how old were you na when you and Pop bought your home? Eh,
98. We were born
yeah.
64. Kayo magmath.
34.
Oh,
Yeah.
and how many kids did you have na?
We had Elmo.
Six kids.
Yeah, correct. Because Clara was born 99, and then Arkin was born. You saw how I went? I was gonna go
Yes.
to Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Arkin was born 99, and then
Ganun talaga 'pag
Clara.
maraming anak 'no? Ako
Clara,
nga dalawa lang yung anak namin, lagi ko pa baliktad yung names
pag ano, pag
I feel ya,
emotional
mom.
ka.
I feel ya.
So anyway, so mom, so si Sab pala was born na when Eve, ay parang Sab was part of the nomad phase.
Nomad clan.
Yeah, Nomadland.
Yes.
Ah.
Because we were in 88. It's all a blur now. Not for anything, ha, because some people, I see some people like accusing me of doing uh doing drugs or something. It's never been my personality. Can you just explain? I don't even like anesthesia. So yeah. So
Sobrang gets ko kayo doon, mom. Kasi ako rin, being in the music scene, they always assume that
ganun
I
ba yun?
do stuff.
Wow.
I've been offered a lot when I'm at gigs. Tapos parang ako, di ko gets.
I know, right? Pero I know what all these things smell like and look like because I'm a
Wait.
very thorough researcher. Anyway, so Sab was I know you were already there when we were living in Manhattan, Cubao.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, Sab was a baby when we were there. So after Manhattan, we lived na in Katipunan. In a compound in
Oh.
Katipunan. Yeah.
I loved our Katipunan home.
Yes.
It was right across Ateneo and it was
Yeah.
the parang only residential compound there, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
It's
everything.
where our so it was dug up to to build a condo, and my mom bought a unit there, that same lot. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why we were made to move out of there na because it was
Kasi
turned into a high rise, a low rise.
So mom, like when you, I think the point, well, aside from the fact that it's Mother's Day and we wanted to have you on the show,
Thank you.
what we wanted to talk about rin is ano eh, parang what I love about, when we have dinner and we talk is um you and Sab, parang you and Sab parang slowly, I've seen it through the years, no, na parang slowly it's become you showing like, yo, I'm not just your mom, like I'm a human being.
I keep slowly unearthing
That
new
y-
things,
yeah,
no?
and
That I
that's
never
what,
heard before.
yeah, kasi ako ganun ako with my parents, like
Mm.
but still not to, parang kumbaga like I've only like kumbaga ano, parang nagigets mo, like
I
parang
think I think what you're trying to say is you and me, Jim, at this point in our lives, we're always thinking parang grabe, ibang-iba
Yeah.
tayo ngayon kaysa sa dati kung ano-anong ginagawa natin dati, like, go home so late
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever. And then parang we're just imagining like, gosh, like these two boys, Pancho and Vito,
no idea.
they have no idea and they're probably gonna be so ungrateful when they're teenagers. Even with all the sacrifice we've had to make. So, well, I'm just...
Sorry, just to add.
Okay.
Hindi lang naman sa gratitude. I
Yeah.
and parang
I wasn't done, but okay.
Hindi, I just wanna add lang. Na kasi sorry, no, it felt like wala akong point eh. So
No, you
binabalik
do
ko
have a
lang.
point.
Oo nga, ang point ko is that wala na naman.
Ayun na,
I know, I get it. I'll explain. It's
sige,
like,
sige.
tingin nyo sa amin, even with Jerry and Bing, hi guys, is that we're your parents, di ba? So parang,
Yes.
parang parents are just supposed to be like, your nurturers and parang your people you follow the lead and all of that. But we are not seen as individuals. It's like sometimes you get information about us from our friends or even our friends who became your friends, especially
Yeah.
us because we kind of share the same scene.
Industry.
Yeah. So it's like you get like, oh really? Is she like that? Is he like that? It's like it's a side of us that you don't see. Same with my parents anyway. Like my dad was like people were scared of my dad and my mom in their industries because they were also quite strict and like they were bosses also. So But we never saw that side because we were
Mm.
always like, oh, they're under my thumb, you know. It's like I can
Mm.
do anything with dad and with mom, and like, you know, it's like, but you don't see that we also have our own achievements. Is that also what you're trying to say, right? It's like
Yes.
we're a whole new person. But I also
I,
don't like naman na to be like a barkada or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Diba?
Mm.
But I
yeah.
do like it that you get surprised because like you're also gonna reach that age, you
Yeah.
know.
Ako, I think, ano rin eh, parang, I think what we want to achieve with this talk that we're gonna have, that we're having right now is,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our listeners, kasi they send us a lot of letters, mail, malibag. We actually did
Malibag.
an episode, Mom. It's
Yeah,
the
I
lost
know.
episode.
Yeah.
We might post it. We recorded it parang 2 years ago before I gave birth to Vito.
Bakit lost?
Yeah.
It was
Because
for a different podcast,
yeah.
and
You and mom.
yes, me and Mom.
Ah, okay, okay.
Jim
We did a
was at work, yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a very good pod. It's a secret pod. We'll probably upload it next Mother's Day.
Na-delete na ata yun eh.
Wait.
Hindi kasi di ba
Oh,
nagpalit
kasi
ako ng
nagpalit tayo
computer
oh
eh.
no, well, okay lang.
It's
Well,
okay.
it's okay. So I feel like because of our listeners, lagi sila nagsisend sa amin ng mail, some of them complaining about their parents. And I think it's just important for everyone to realize and to know and be reminded na our parents had a life before we existed. They don't just exist for us to be here today.
Mm.
Parang I think we take for granted na parang it's mom and dad. They're just
Yeah.
they're here just to make sure I get to school and to
Yeah.
make sure I,
And to
get
make sure you're
to
fed.
make sure I'm fed. And parang wala silang sariling buhay.
Well, ako rin kasi, ako growing up, like, it it was like, ano eh, once you close the door, okay, he's probably not doing anything. Di ba? Parang ganun eh. Parang, I
He's
have
just
no...
waiting
Just
for my
wait.
next command.
Yo, parang ganun. My assumption was, like, they don't talk.
Kasi
You know,
I
like-
think kasi teenagers, diba, sobrang self-centered.
Oh,
Yes.
parang, I was like, ang lagi kong iniisip nung time na yun was like, okay, wala naman sila problema eh. Like, parang, kumbaga, grabe yung problema ko. And like,
Yeah, correct.
diba? Like, I had no idea that my dad was like, dealing with work stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Making
Like, I did-
decisions, di ba? Especially
Life
your dad, Jim.
decisions.
Yeah, and like, parang, I had no idea that, they were scared. They were scared
yes,
that there was times. Kaya when I say unearthing, it's not necessarily lang naman na parang, alam mo, gago ako dati.
Secret
it was,
life. Oh.
it's not that. It's more of like,
Alam mo yung mami mo, naku.
nako.
Naku, kung naabutan mo lang yung dahil sa
Oh,
club.
if you meet people like that, nagpapakulang yung mga yun. Get the lowdown from me. Most likely it didn't happen that way.
But my favorite is, I'm not gonna name names, but one of
Sige.
our friends who you knew, and you still know, ang lagi niya sa aming kwento, which I love, is parang, your mom, she was always pregnant.
Yeah. I know, right? And then like
Well, you were.
that's my persona, di ba? Because up to the last minute, I'd still be going out with Pop, di ba? But
Yeah.
but except for the gigging. Kasi that one, I just wanted to protect like my babies from the sound.
Yes.
But
Oh.
otherwise,
And smoke,
Yeah.
no, before. Nagyoyosi
Yeah.
pa sa...
yeah. Indoors. Nag-iossi pa
Actually,
yung mga-
naabutan natin yung gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grabe.
Max,
So,
those
ano-
are the days. So going
Ay,
back
isa pa-
to Jim,
Ay, sorry.
si
Go on.
Vito and Pancho, yan yung tingin nila sa inyo na you're just there to give them their milk.
Yeah.
And parang, they're just like, they think that you guys are just waiting for them to like take on the next trip outside, di ba? Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Right now, I'm already cringing at the thought of our friends trying to make our sons think that we're cool.
What do you mean?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like, you know how like I can just imagine like Manny's like,
Yung
yun
daddy
nga,
mo.
exactly yung daddy mo. You know what I mean? Or parang like,
And we weren't even that
Hindi,
crazy.
pero parang kumbaga, parang yung parents, si Jim and Sab, mami papa mo, grabe yan dati, ganyan. Di ba? Parang, and I'm like, I'm sure they're thinking like, no, they're losers.
Yeah. Parang, ano yun?
No
Ano yung,
naman.
ano yung ginawa nila? TikTok? Ganun na ka,
No,
ano, ano.
you know
We
what?
weren't,
At that age, like, when that's being told to you, di ba? Admit it, you guys, na before, sinasabihan rin kayo ng friends namin ng ganyan. And you're just staring at them and just nodding and like, I want to get out of here.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You're just
yeah.
like, I don't even remember that. But when you're older, di ba, you want to go back to those days. Ganun talaga human nature. And then parang, oh, I wish I had, you know, parang kept that memory. I had listened more to, especially now that Pop's gone, di ba? Parang,
Yeah.
sana nakinig ako more dun sa kwento ng kaibigan niyang ganyan and all. And you know
Ah,
what? Kasi nga, that's what also Grammy says, na parang the best history, because I was also brought up by my maternal grandmother. And parang the best history is the ones that's passed down, di ba? Yung parang wisdom of the older folks and also what really happened. And of course, like my grandmother went through the war, through World War
mm.
II, and of course, yeah. So di ba, parang you have a first-hand experience from them, and it's not fake news.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I talked to Grammy, my grandmother,
yeah.
mom's mom, about the protests that she went to before, and a lot of stuff. Kasi I think that's really important, no, na to talk to your parents and your parents' parents and ask them about their history, because that's how you learn. Kasi I mean, that's ano tawag doon? First hand.
Yeah,
That's a
information.
first hand account
And I have to
of
say, no,
things.
Sab, also, parang, it's important because you get your being brave
Mhm.
from that because you
Mm.
know that what your instinct is going the right way. Parang
Mm.
when you want to say that things are not going right, and
Mm.
because you are a parent also, and even if you were not yet a parent, but you're of age to actually care about what's happening, diba, around you and
Mm.
to your own country, diba? So
Mm.
you get that from, even me. We didn't really care about all of these either. Although we were martial law babies, no.
Mm.
But when we had our own children, that's when we were like more aware. Before that,
Mm.
of course, it's like
Yeah.
ang saya kaya ng ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And then parang you
Yeah.
realize, no, you didn't have any rights. You were not
Yes.
respected. And
Yes.
so, I'm
I
glad that,
completely
yeah.
I get that, mom, kasi ngayon nga, ngayong may pandemic and may COVID, parang Jim and I try to put ourselves in the shoes of our younger single friends who still sometimes go out or like get together. Parang, syempre naiinis kami sometimes, parang,
Ako
ano
yun
ba
ah.
yan? Ano
Your
yan?
young single friend.
uh, one of two. um, ano yun? Yeah, pero naisip namin na siguro nga, if we were also single and bored, we wouldn't think it was a big deal. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe, I mean, I think we would, but it wouldn't be the same gravity as when you
Mhm.
are a parent
Yeah.
na you think about your children's future
Yeah.
and you want to be a good example. And parang all of these things come into play when you're making decisions.
Mhm.
And so ang tanong natin ay, Pia, ready ka na ba? Charot.
Yeah, sorry ha. This all came from the people who write to you and
Yeah.
say that they don't get along with their parents.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So,
well, I wanted to. Go for it.
interject.
Go ahead. Ikaw muna.
Ano,
Ikaw
go,
muna.
go.
Go muna. Go
Hindi,
muna.
yun na nga. I was gonna say our first question.
I don't know what the first.
Wala, ikaw. Ask any
Okay,
question.
okay.
Of course, we have no outline. This is how this podcast works.
Eh, siguro what I wanted to ask is when I say kasi or parang what I wanted to comment is like it's funny how like when you're a kid, 'di ba? If your parents show weakness, then you would be like, "What? You're my authority figure. You're the perfect person. How can you be not perfect?"
Mm-mm.
But ako, in my experience, and I'm sure you too, Rensab, like as you grow older, when your parents show their vulnerability and their weakness, that not weakness, their vulnerability, that yes, we're
Their
human beings,
softness.
man. Like yeah, we were scared during that time. We just didn't tell you.
Mm.
Actually, it makes you love them more.
Yeah.
'Di ba? So parang
And appreciate them
yeah, and
more.
kasi until now, like I'm sure like it really took a while for my parents to like say admit some stuff like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nung time na yun yung ganito yung nangyayari nun na.
Mm.
Parang
You
wala,
had no
you had
idea.
no
You think
idea.
you know, but you have no idea.
From my perspective, it's like, oh my god, like I admire you. 'Di ba? I
Mm.
admire you so much for shielding me from that craziness.
Mm.
So wala lang, parang it's just funny to na ganun ang buhay.
Yeah.
'Di ba? You spend your whole life na kuwari, right now kami ni Sab, we're like we have to be we have to be role models, blah blah blah. But I'm sure in the future, siguro Vito and Pancho would say like, "Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like,
Ganyan sila magsalita. Come on, man.
yeah,
Yo, yo, just tell us the truth,
Chill.
man. Chill.
yeah, pero that would make us connect to them,
Hmm.
'di ba? When once we actually, and I'm sure like you guys, like kayo Sab, 'di ba? You've told me this like parang um yeah,
Hmm.
'di ba? Na parang when a parent opens up, and
Yeah,
do you
totally.
agree with that, mom, that like it takes a while before you can kind of let your guard down and
Because I know there are boundaries.
yeah, so
You
yeah,
know,
go.
there's pros and cons to that. Also, to add to that, it's a generational thing as well, and also from your background, it's like we are automatically as a parent, um, because we're used to you guys, diba, when you grow up, we still say you're always gonna be my baby. I used to say before that I wasn't gonna do that to my children, but no, up to now, I still like. You also get to that stage, Sam. Stop looking at me like that. Hindi kasi, di ba? Talaga, it's a certain, parang the more nga that you guys become older, that's when we start to say that she's always still gonna be my baby. But I will not
Mm.
treat you like a baby, di ba? It's just that we are used to being the
Baby.
people in charge of your lives. So we put you ahead of us. And so in that mix, somehow we loosen ourselves. Pero the thing is, it's by instinct that we have to be brave at a certain point and show our strength at a certain point. And then nga, as the years pass, that's when we will reveal to you. But it's not good rin kasi naman to show your vulnerability at that moment. Unless the children
Yes.
are already adults as well. For
Mm.
instance now, okay, I'm gonna bring them on my roof because I'm so proud. I'm so happy. Thank you for fixing my roof.
Aw.
So yeah, Sabin, Jim, and Una and Brian.
Aw.
Yeah, so like just like that, I'm not used to that. Na parang I'm used nga to I'm the one in charge of everything. So when they said that they were the ones gonna be in charge of doing that, I was so surprised. I still can't get over it now that
Oh.
you are adults. You are, and I did say that when you were younger. I said I am bringing up my children so that you will become useful adults in the future, and that we will somehow meet at a
Mm.
certain point so that we will all be the same adults
Aw.
at that time, and then we
Mm.
will all be together and talk that way, diba? So
Mm.
but at the time that you're, especially when the children are minors or
Mm.
just teens, or like you as a parent, that's a welcome gift, really, to be strong for your children,
Mm.
and you will derive that strength from your children. It's automatic somehow if you have a good foundation with your children and you really put them ahead of you at a
Mm.
certain point. Because like me and friends,
Mm.
by the way, your dad.
Ay.
So yeah, so um
Who? Just kidding.
so there was a time that like we were having three and then four, and then I said, like, the minute we have our, and he was writing, and lyrics and all of that, and I said, we have to watch out what we say there, and like, you still want to be respected by co-parents and by
Mm.
the schools and all. And I said, you really have to compromise. You can't have everything. So
Mm.
um we the minute we had children, tapos na, like, our children na yung nasa spotlight. Sila na yung star ng show namin, hindi na kami. So parang that takes out nga your narcissism, actually, because there's another little person there who
Mm.
needs so much from you,
Yeah.
and you have to do take care of yourself so that you can do whatever you have to do for that person, and so you can make right decisions also. Not to say
Mm.
that, of course, like, sometimes it was different back then, but like 21st century, you have so many contraptions and everything at your fingertips, so you can use that wisely and still be able to, but don't overthink it, Jim, because when you feel like it, it's like the boys will be, now that they're still too young to remember also, it's the time for you to like enjoy that also. No need that
Pero
to.
grabe mom, no? Ako, I can't believe Pancho is 3.
Yeah.
Di
I
ba?
still,
Time
it
flies.
just
Yeah.
goes by so fast.
So fast.
But for you, I'm sure, did it feel the same way?
Well, the thing
Or
is,
kasi may mga gap no?
no, at saka, parang pag
Or
lumalaki na yung isa, may
just for our
baby na
listeners,
naman.
yeah, nga, just for our listeners who
Yeah.
are not aware. So my mom and dad, they had 5 kids first, like the first batch, and then after 6 years, 1 kid, and then after 6 years, two
Two
kids.
kids. Yeah.
So parang labo.
Yeah,
so
well,
so you still have kids with you now.
the two, yes, the two young,
Yes.
the two talagang we just call
The
them, di ba? They're still here because
the best
it's,
ones.
no,
Well,
everybody,
to me, they're the best.
but, I like, it's like, I love it because, and I don't regret talaga, I don't regret having 8 children because in my case, but if, it's like my greatest support is obviously from God the Father, because
Mm-hmm.
I really acknowledge him as my father. As
Mm,
just to get it out of the way, I am Catholic. We are Catholic, and
mm,
we were just brought up that way. And when I was going through so much hard times, I went to that. I
mm,
just used that. I'm not hardcore um religious, I might say, but it's just my upbringing really, and my what I learned in school, and I was really
mm,
grateful for that. And I will never forget how I was brought up by that. I'm very grateful really. It's like I don't like to change things too much. I just really like what was taught to me.
mm,
It's just I just believe it so much. It's just all a lot of respect, because love is just respect, really. So,
mm,
and if you love yourself, you also respect yourself, and then that shows, that goes across. So I just brought up my kids with just basic love,
mm.
and like I would just tell them straight, Jim, if they were like, like doing something dangerous, hanging on the stairs or something, I just say to them, "Do you want to die?
That's
Stop
true.
that right now," and then
I
they would
remember
stop.
that.
Being
Yeah,
really practical.
I remember that. But in
Yeah.
fairness, Mama, you didn't shove religion down our throats or anything like that. I really appreciate that na walang yung crazy
Because
na
it was
parang
not, yeah, it was not
mm,
also done to us. Even the way
mm,
we went to school, it was not. It was
mm,
just a part of our lives, really. It was just
mm,
like, there are just um, commandments to follow. They're called 10, but they're just really two, which is love God and love your neighbor. So
mm.
if
So
you
those are
do,
the golden rule, yun ba yun?
yeah.
Tama ba?
So yeah, so it's called different
Tama ba?
things, but see,
Do
as
unto others what you want others to do unto you.
The
yes.
gold,
So
wala tang the golden rule, sabi.
the golden
The
rule is,
the
Greatest
greatest
the
commandment.
greatest love of all. Diba? And then ang point ko is what about those who aren't fortunate enough to have
mm,
parents nga who allow their kids to parang we're taught these things pero I feel like you allowed us to really get into it on our own time,
mm-hmm.
in our own time. Parang what would you say to kids who parang mare, let's say yung mga iba naming malibag senders,
Yeah.
they say na medyo sobrang toxic na nga nung parents and
Oo.
uh, naniniwala sa stuff na hindi dapat suportahan, ganun. Anong
I know, alam mo, sobrang hirap niyan kasi,
yun nga
'di
eh.
ba, talagang ano eh, hindi mo malalaman until ikaw yung nandun sa situation na 'yon. Kaya mahirap talaga magbigay ng advice sa gano'n.
Mm.
Pero laging, sa bagay, 'di ba, through the year, syempre dumaan din ako sa sarili kong
Mm-mm.
whatever I had to go through, which is really also probably for me, it's the most painful already. So, yeah, on that note, dun sa mga the people who sa mga Malibag writers ninyo,
Pod kids.
pod kids, sa mga pod kids ninyo, hindi ko rin
Sa mga
masasabi.
pod apo ninyo.
Oo nga, pada po, pada po.
Para po.
Oh my gosh, it's like a food. Yun.
It's like
So,
food.
oo. So, ang ano ko lang lagi, siguro ang naiisip ko lang that whole time is humihingi talaga ako ng advice sa experts. Kasi mahirap kung hihingi ka lang ng advice sa mga kachokaran mo.
So dapat wag na sila mag-send ng letters sa amin. Hindi,
Well,
joke lang.
no. Pwede na kayong experts kasi, I mean, pwedeng sabihin na experts kayo kasi third party kayong, hindi nyo naman sila kilala ng personal talaga. Plus, nadaanan nyo. And I'm sure naman you're responsible enough na hindi magbigay ng advice sa mga hindi nyo naman na kagawian rin naman na, di ba?
Yeah, now we don't know the whole situation.
Yeah.
I would say always just kahit na magka-opposing views kayo, always have respect for your parents pa rin. And
Oh,
always think of it nga na hindi nga sila na nag-exist just for you to be there. I think it's more of they were brought up a certain way also, and we can't, we have to understand that. Just do it out of respect and do your research, present the facts, but always be respectful. Kasi that's the thing that could spark and parang just ruin a relationship if you are disrespectful.
yeah. Yung pagsabi ko ng go to experts kasi now parang everything's online naman, 'di ba? So actually pwede ka naman mag-research pero dapat yung mga sites mo dapat credible, 'di ba? Like psychology, yung mga ganon. So you can just punch in, 'di ba? Kailangan magaling ka rin mag-research so yung tamang words yung lalagay mo doon. So it can come from a feeling, what you're feeling right now. And then makakatulong yun kasi kahit kung ano yun man lumabas na factual na credible na site. So yung mga psychology sites nga and
Yeah.
so pero most of the time kasi laging mong iisipin kunyari inis na inis ka na rin. Dapat meron kang it comes with maturity din eh. So, iisipin mo rin, itong taong to, kahit gusto mo nang mainis, ito yung nagpalaki sa akin. Can you imagine that? Ito yung nagpalaki sa'yo. And as long as hindi ka niya dinadala sa sa danger or anything. We're just talking about normal things na mga nagging lang ng mom or whatever yung mga ganun lang mga simpleng bagay. Kahit na ninanag ka na, hindi ka ba mag-aasawa or something like that, di ba? Bigyan mo lang ng time and then breathe ka lang ng count a little, parang count to 3. And then minsan kasi, ang punot dulo rin yan is, naghahanap lang syempre yung parents mo ng what you call as lambing and also ng attention. So parang bumabalik din. Nung bata ka, naghahanap ka rin ng attention ng parents mo. So syempre habang tumatanda ka na, naghahanap rin ng attention yung parents mo, attention mo sa kanila. So parang, ganun din. Can you imagine what it's like to be growing old, di ba? And sometimes, katulad nga sa mga katulad ko na mag-isa na lang, di ba? So parang isipin mo rin yun. And maganda kasi, pag nag-iisip ka ng ganon, nag-iisip ka ng ibang tao, hindi lang yung sarili mo. So nilalagay mo pa rin ibang tao ahead of you. So hindi ka nagiging selfish. So pag ganon, may na-achieve ka na, may napapasaya ka na, tapos sa sarili mo rin, you end up na parang hindi ka nagsisisi, you don't have regrets na nagalit ka, nainis ka, and nanay mo pa naman yon or tatay mo pa naman yon or whatever, lolo, lola, lalo na,
sige,
oo.
let's talk about naman,
Mm-mm.
because we have been giving a lot of parenting advice, but
Yeah.
we want to go back to stuff nga before you became a parent. Like,
Okay.
what's the
I have a question.
okay, sige.
What's one thing that you wish you knew before you became, ay parang kumbaga if if you had a time machine and you went back in time, what would you tell yourself? Like, don't do this, don't whatever.
Well, not to put blame on others because matanda na ako ngayon. Pero, looking back, ang kulang ko talaga, I wish I had known more about, ano, finances. Kasi talagang, nung, yun nga, yun yung ano rin ng, sa parents, is parang gusto ng parents i-shield ka sa, sa totoong nangyayari sa buhay, di ba? And then, akala nila, because lumaki rin silang self-made and siguro dumaan sila sa hirap. Typically, ganun na yung iba. Pag dumaan sa hirap, ayaw nilang mangyari yun sa anak nila. Pero
Yes.
actually, mas nagiging worse pa nga yun kasi parang, I have to admit, spoiled talaga ako lumaki. Pero, hindi spoiled na ano ha, as in disrespectful and all. Spoiled in the sense na kahit
You
hindi ko pa
never wanted for nothing.
yeah, yung parang kahit hindi ko pahinga nandyan na, yung parang hindi rin naman maganda yon. So,
Hindi
um,
talaga
yeah,
maganda yon, no?
oo. Pero yun na nga. So, and then of course when I was with already your dad, he also tended to spoil me na parang yeah, just do whatever you want. It's just there for you for the taking and all of
Actually, that's what I'm curious about.
oo.
Like, kasi si Sab can't really give me much info kasi, like we said, diba? Like, she would go in her room and like, oh, Papa and Mommy, they're there, whatever.
Mm.
It's
Um,
it's it's actually mom and pop.
okay. So, ang question ko is, what was your dynamic like? Like parang as boyfriend girlfriend. Ano yung thing? Like parang how was it? Ano yung,
From
ano?
day one, when we got together, from day one pa lang, ano na eh, super like, gustong-gusto ko talaga yung, basta we just liked each other's company and parang we never ran out of anything to say to each other. Up to now, that's why I miss him nga so much. Kasi siya
Oh.
lang talaga yung gusto kong nakakausap na, hindi naman sa namimili ako ng kakausapin, di ba? Kaya lang those of my friends who know me, alam nila madaldal talaga ako kasi I spoke, I was already 4 years old, said my mom.
Oh,
So,
really?
and when I did speak, I never stopped since then. Sabi niya, yan yung ano ng mom ko sa akin. So, pero I'm just really so madaldal kasi parang, ano nga ako eh, inquisitive mind, tapos parang ang dami kong ideas, tapos parang ang dami kong gusto. So, match talaga kami kasi pati si friends, parang ano rin siya, curious rin siya, and then we'd call him na the scientist, di ba? Kasi may sagot siya talaga to everything. Kasi mahilig talaga kami magbasa to start with. So, yun. So, kami, even me naman, growing up, so I had my two other siblings for the longest time. Matagal pa dumating yung fourth sibling namin. So, we would imagine things from books. We didn't have television growing up. So, we would imagine things from books. And then, we would read Nancy Drew, Alfred Hitchcock, and then we would do our own detective work and then suspect namin yung security guard, gano'n. So, kasi hindi na naman kami, that's it. We just play lang at home. There were no malls to speak of. And then we had our ballet lessons, piano lessons, mga ganon. Pero yun,
Spoiled nga.
mostly, hindi. Mostly, imagination lang talaga, creative. So parang, you just have to imagine. So meron din akong imaginary friend actually. I think when I was Vito's age or Pancho's age, yan, sabi ng mom ko. Kasi isa-set pa yung table
Yeah.
beside me for my imaginary friend. So, ayun. So, when I was with friends, parang super click talaga kami na I had an audience. He also had an audience in me kasi sobra akong humahanga talaga. Kasi everything na kaya niyang gawin, hindi ko naman kayang gawin yon. So, yeah. So, parang ako, ano nga ako eh, parang most likely, ang mga artists, madaming self-doubt. So, kasali kayo doon. Especially like, of course, my Sab is my child. So, parang alam ko talaga lahat ng insecurities niya, even as for performing and all of that, na alam kong kaya niyang gawin. Pero, yun nga, the artist, kahit na, like, even si Pop, umabot siya sa the best siyang, tinagurian siyang all of that. Pero, hindi talaga niya nakikita yun sa sarili niya. So, I'm there para sabihin na, ito kaya mong gawin, ito yung kaya ko nakikita ko kaagad with my imagination. Because my mom was in advertising rin. Tapos I was like trained by her. I would go with her rin sa shoots. So parang, alam ko rin yung mga certain standards na gusto kong marating nila, 'di ba?
But how are you as a girlfriend? Ay, wait lang, mama. Is there a fan near you?
All the way back there. You want me to turn off?
I think I hear it, the swinging.
Ako, I don't hear it.
Ah, that's my chair?
No, the parang
Ah, wait lang ah. Wait.
naririnig. Ako naririnig ko. It sounds like a
Yan, better?
ayan, nawala. That
Okay
was
na?
it. Oh my gosh, yeah. That was
Okay
it.
na,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but how are you as a girlfriend?
Me as a
Like, were you-
girlfriend.
Like who was the more sensitive one?
Who was the tampururot?
Who was the tampururot?
Ganun din ba kayo dati, ma'am? Hindi, wala, okay lang.
Oh.
Okay lang ako. Hindi, okay lang ako. Okay lang.
You know me. Oh, me talaga, friends! Di ba? Parang, ganun, well, mostly, nga ako parang, I don't know, basta parang lagi akong may ideas and parang, parang, hindi kami romantic, yung parang ganon. Parang yung, basta appear lang kami ng appear, ganon. I mean, of course, di ba? Pero parang lang kami na parang light bulb moment, yung ganon. Tas
Idea, would you call it an idea factory?
Yeah, and then we would sing, he'd sing, I've got the looks, you've got the brains, let's make lots of money. You know that song?
Yeah.
Yun, yeah. So parang, not to say na walang brains or walang looks yung isa, but it's just, ganun na yung song
It's a
diba?
joke.
Well, I mean, just like with my kids, parang, I want you to discover and I want people to like you. I like people to want to be your friends. I want you to be popular, meaning well-liked. Hindi yung people pleaser ha, pero just naturally lang talaga na parang bring out your personality na maganda and all, and parang also parang have a lot of friends na iba-iba yung interest, iba-ibang groups, ganon. So parang okay lang naman sa akin yun, but I just don't like na pag mapupunta ka na sa danger, yun yung that's where I draw the line, diba? So may ganun rin.
Ako, ma'am, like, so because you ganun yung dynamic nyo, no? Parang, and then you became parents. So, like, kuwari, when I was dating Saab na, is there anything about your relationship with Pop that parang kumbaga na, like, had made you have a tendency towards, like, this type of person for your kids? Gets mo? Like, parang, obviously, my dad, loves mommy and knows wife as like ganon, parang ganon, or like mommy knows how papa acts, so therefore may ganon,
standards,
parang ganon. Like did you have that, or parang for all your children and who they dated?
Hay nako, Jim, grabe si mom. The first time she met you, when you visited me in the hospital, I was sick. Remember, that's when you met mom?
Yeah.
And then my mom was just like, cute niya ha.
Yeah! Diba?
It was you and Ate Una, diba? Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. It's like,
And then like Sam's like,
my
diba?
mom's never been like that to any of my
And then
boyfriends.
me and Una are like, who?
Yeah. Did you hear that, mom?
I can hear.
Sorry.
What the
Hell, oh my god.
What's that?
Sorry.
That's from
That was from a previous episode kasi it's on the file,
It's
the
on the
recording file. Sorry.
Okay lang
my
yun? Okay
God.
lang yun?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
can
just do it again.
edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when mom first met you, when
Just
the
at the
moment that you
hospital.
left, when the moment that you left, she was like, cute niya ha. Like, kayo ni ate. You were
Yeah.
just like gushing. And because Jim was very awkward, but like he was very smiley. And he seemed
So I
like,
can tell talaga by,
I think you could tell that he could make me laugh a lot. Huh? Am I putting words into your mouth?
Well, nakakatawa nga kasi that was that was the fastest I've ever met the parent of someone I was
Yeah,
dating.
parang
Kasi we weren't dating
We weren't
at all.
dating.
And,
I just got sick and then you visited me.
yeah.
why did you visit her?
Ah nga.
brought you DVDs, di ba?
He brought me Grey's Anatomy. So that's the first time I watched Grey's Anatomy. And you also brought me milk tea.
Hmm. Well,
Oh,
ako naman,
And you
like,
bought Mom Taro milk tea.
that's
ako,
correct.
Mm.
ako what I'd like to say rin is like, I think kanina pa tayo we've been talking about like how
Sorry, hindi
parents...
ko napasagot si Mom dun sa question mo.
Ay,
Mom, sorry, yung standards nga. Sorry.
okay.
Yes, oo. So, um, standards, ang ano ko lang is, well, based of course on well, kasi nga, also to clarify, when Franz and I got together, I already had 2 children. So that's
Mm.
Una and Nicolo, di ba?
Mm.
So, um, and Franz like really loved my kids also. And I would like joke about it nga na, actually mas love niya yung kids ko kesa sa akin. And that's why gusto niya to be with me. Kasi, di ba, I think it's rare, although it's fun actually for
Mm.
somebody who's been in it na parang instant family.
Mm-mm.
Parang for him, parang he liked it already kasi yung pala, yun na nga, kasi he's very childlike, di ba? So gustong-gusto niya na meron siyang mga kasamang
Kalaro.
ano kaagad, di ba? Parang hindi niya kailangan mag-wait, parang I don't know, basta he was just drawn to us. So, and then after that, we started having our kids nga together and still, hindi na iiba yung tingin niya doon sa dalawang panganay. I mean, dalawang nauna.
Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah, I loved seeing our old photo albums, and parang I would see Pop spent a lot of time on those albums, and you and Pop, like,
yeah.
you would put
I know,
captions and
di ba?
stickers, and like parang he was just so in love with Ate and Nick, and
Mm,
it was very, very sweet.
yeah.
Where are
So,
those?
Di ko alam eh.
the albums, I think they're
Nasa
here.
ano nata, nasa
I'll,
Lazada. Charot.
I'll look,
Nasa
I'll
Facebook
look it up.
Marketplace.
Hindi.
Benta natin yan. Charot.
Hindi kasi, so Jim, which brings me to, ako kasi, ang ano ko talaga, ang bottom line ko is honesty. Parang I can't I'm a bad liar. So I'd rather be honest lang talaga. So gusto ko rin na, kunyari, pag nagka-friends nga yung kids ko or even boyfriends or girlfriends, I don't want to have to like pretend. I don't want to pretend I'm something that I'm not. I don't even know what's wrong with what I am. I don't think there's anything wrong with what we're doing as long as we've got ano. So na-hurt ako dun sa ibang nagiging kaibigan rin ng kids ko na issue pala sa kanila yung artista yung mga sa family namin. Actually,
Mm.
I didn't even come from anything to do with show business, pero I brought up my kids to respect their dad's work, and that I said that's what's putting food on the table and that's what's educating you. Plus, he's really good at what he's doing, diba? So I was
Yeah.
just wishing that even my children would become the same, like artists. Kasi
Yeah.
in our side rin, different kind of artist naman.
Mm.
Although everything's creative. So I think it's just like, it's a very peaceful thing to do, diba? So, yun lang, yun yung gusto ko para sa mga anak ko rin na pag nagkaroon ng partner is, because my first partner, I was with him, I think we were just 18 and you know, parang, and yun na nga, since I didn't know really much of real life, so it didn't work out, not to anybody's fault, di ba?
Mhm.
Pero yun na nga, ang gusto ko sana for my kids, na kung sino yung makasama nila, they also have as much bond with the partner as Francis and I did. Because parang, it's so, despite the bad times, di ba? The good times, nangingibabaw pa rin. So parang, you always have each other. Siyempre nagkakainisan, who doesn't? Kasi nga, if you live together naman, di ba?
Kami, mom, we
We
don't at
never,
all.
ever. We're just so peaceful.
Your noses are like growing long. Pinocchio.
Never pa kami nag-away ever. Siyempre, love kita yung si baby.
Baby. Baby.
Kasi nga, yung ganon, di ba? So,
Wait lang, mama. Just, quick anecdote lang. Do you remember, I introduced to you my first boyfriend ever. And actually, I didn't even introduce you. Parang nagpunta ako sa Ateneo Fair. I was in high school. Tapos, there was this guy na parang naniligaw sa akin. We shall not name names. And then, hinatid niya ako sa car. So, we were in high school. Yeah, we were in high school. Hinatid niya ako sa car. And then, nung pagpasok ka, parang, ano, kilig-kilig ako na parang, oh, hinatid ako, parang na-meet niya yung mom ko. And my mom says to me, she was so harsh. She said, bakit di makatingin yun sa mata ko? Anong tinatago niya? Grabe! Sobra akong, oh my gosh. Like,
That's the
she doesn't
influence
like
of
him.
pop.
She
Okay?
does,
Kasi si
so si mom was like, ano tinatago niya? Anong problema niya? Like, I don't like him. So see,
yeah.
that's how far you were
No,
from
no, no.
my first
I mean, let me
boyfriend.
explain ha. Let me explain. Even for the benefit of yung mga kapatid mong manunood nito rin. Sana mapanood nila. Kasi nga, I really said that naman from the start, na parang age appropriate. Don't ever say, bakit si ate, bakit si kuya, ganyan-ganyan, or something, di ba? Kasi hindi mo yan age, so hindi yan pwede sa'yo. So wag ka nag-feeling na just because merong boyfriend yung ate mo, pwede ka na rin, di ba? Kasi nga, hindi pa age appropriate. So kailangan i-shut
Hindi ko
down
naman
din yun.
hindi ko naman in-introduce as my boyfriend. Diyos ko, hinatid lang naman ako sa kotse.
Well, I have to say, hindi ko naaalala yon. But if you have to, kasi nga, di ba, as I said kanina on my live,
Ah,
if you have a healthy mind, it has a way of erasing the bad experiences. And then that's to protect us, di ba? So
mm.
that's how the mind works. And then parang,
Yeah.
Actually, ako nagagets kita, mom, eh. Parang, back to your original point,
yes,
yung about,
I'm sure nag-gets mo ako, Jim.
gets na gets.
Confident.
Lagi na lang kayo magkakampi.
I mean, nagagets ko yung sinasabi mo na about honesty and how that,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people reek of honesty and some people reek of dishonesty. And parang that prime example of, like, kumari, because that's a good testament rin to mom. It's not like she said, like, bakit ang ano niya, ang whatever. She just said, like, kumbaga parang may inkling ako about, parang, so it's always, and yun yung love na love ko before, as in, on, just to, to be open about it, like, I was, one of the pressures that I had, like, before I asked Sab to marry me, when I was gonna talk to you, was actually, was like, I was thinking, like, okay, she's gonna ask me, like, what my like 5-year plan, like, she might ask me.
I don't think she has a 5-year.
No, I mean, I thought
Hindi nga niya
you,
ako kilala eh.
no, I thought you would ask me, like, how are you, parang you're just, like, this is your job, parang why ganyan. And I remember, sabi, diba, like, parang whenever, like, we would go, parang I would be so stressed out na parang, shit, I have to show mom that
You
I'm
just
paying.
said shit in front of my mom.
Ah.
Charot.
It's okay.
Na parang I have to pay for dinner.
Ah,
'Di ba?
yeah.
Parang that was, I always thought. So ako, I just want, it's Mother's Day. So I just want to
Yeah.
honor you that way na,
Aw.
Thank you.
you've never made me, you've done so much in your career as a mother, but not once did I ever feel like you were at all, like, you had any standards for,
Judging.
yeah, for your children, na parang, na, like, na a simple thing, like, about, everything, actually everything, like the food we'd eat, or the whatever,
Where we would go.
where we would go, when we decided to get a house, when we
Mhm.
decided to get married, and whatever. You've always respected us, and that's why ako naniniwala rin ako dun na that's really your metric, like, and for your children and their partners, 'di ba, na parang, are they true, are they sincerely happy, and when you see that, then you're sincerely happy for them,
Yeah.
'di ba?
I think
Yes.
yeah, and also it is Mother's Day. I also do wanna honor you by affirming that really God is truly with you, mom. You said like that you had no idea about finances or anything, but look at where you took our family. I mean, my papa would not have been where he was without you, and you raised 8 children. And
All went to great schools.
yeah, all went to good schools, or pwede na schools, shut up.
Oh, I am proud of your schools.
yeah, 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 yeah. And yun, parang it's just, parang I feel like God has always been with you and our family. And I thank you for that. I mean, we have all been in the creative fields, and we made it work. Nakikiwi ako. I mean, you did.
You also, of course. Thank you,
And
Jen
no,
and Sam.
I mean, I got it from you, and
No,
that's
thank
why
you.
I want to.
Kaya kaya nga talagang totoo yung ano eh. Si mom, totoo talaga yung the mom and pop parang the mom and pop shop.
The mom and pop shop. Yeah.
'Di ba? Na parang
Pop the trunk
like pop the trunk
operations.
operations, punk rock, but you did it the right
It's the
way.
most punk rock parenting. And
Hindi, kasi ako tuwa ako sa mga stories mo like yung like mom would drive and like ano yung parang all the kids are there and then parang
wala, hindi uso ang car seat dati.
hindi, not about the car seat. Not the car seat. More of like parang like yun nga, like that's why everyone we know who are friends with you always say na, yeah, si Pia, she's always pregnant. Diba? Parang,
Kasi,
kasi
yeah.
you'd be out, diba? And,
Tsaka we would
yeah.
bring talaga the kids with us to as much as possible kung pwede yung activity. So, di ba we did the Mel and Jay show in Baguio. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
yeah, it's just like, for me, I jumped on it kaagad kasi it's like, they're gonna, alam mo, Jim, I brought my family up via XD lahat. Most of the time, yeah. So parang I'm not ashamed to say that. Diba? Parang, that's why now I understand it rin. Kasi parang, I get it. Parang, why should I be too proud, diba? Kung, I mean, obviously, apart from contracts, may kasaling, in kind or, diba? Wala pang social media noon or and stuff like that. Pero if I could find something na, in addition to a job that was paying and that they would give us like something that was in kind, parang ang saya, di ba? And it's like going back to the barter ages and, parang, yeah, so we've done a lot of that. And I like it because it's like, it's really the bayanihan system. Na parang, if I can do this for you, can you do this for me? And it's not, and it's all legit. It's not under the table stuff or nandadaya ka for something, di ba? Pero, basta, it's just also, it boils down to being creative. And parang, it doesn't hurt to ask eh. So pag tinanong ko, so pwede ba namin tong gawin? Kung gagawin mo to, ganyan-ganyan. And then parang, diba? And then parang, yeah, pwede naman pala eh. So parang, nalibre ko na yung yung parang, diba? Nalibre ko yung sasakyan natin, nalibre ko yung ganyan.
I think that's one of the reasons, I mean, that's one of the things I'm also very grateful for from you and Pop na I think na hindi I don't know if it's a good thing, pero na hindi ako parang I don't look at people money-wise.
Correct. Hindi ako nai-impress.
Hindi ako nai-impress talaga. As in, wala sa akin yung Balenciaga or whatever.
Si Saab, promise, wala yung
As in ako, hindi talaga ako
Ako lang
na-impress.
nagbibigay dyan.
Tsaka yun nga, mas
Oo.
nai-impress ako pag galing ka sa hirap or like,
Yes.
hirapan mo talaga yan.
I can completely attest to this because I am a shitty gift giver. And Sav manages to still love me very
Hindi,
much.
tsaka Jim, di ba sobrang stressful na Tsaka like that, like si Pop, he's not gonna pretend na alam niya yung mga ganyan. Tapos he's just gonna say, sige, bili ka. Parang, di ba? For me, okay na. Tapos sasabihin ko, ito yung gift mo sa akin. Di ba? Parang, di ba? Yung parang, and then walang di ba? So parang, at least hindi naman, that's one less thing to fight about, di ba? Or feel bad about. Or, it's the way you see things eh. Parang, ganun nga, para sa akin, sobrang stress pa no na parang, kunyari, kailangan every, may gift ka kay Sab na something, O tapos, makakain. Sabihin ko nga kay Pop before, siya naman kasi, as in, bili lang, di ba, games, ganyan. Tapos sabihin ko, so masasangag ba natin yung, mo, yung latest, whatever it's called. What's a game ba?
Resident Evil.
Yan, yung Resident Evil na yan. Tapos yun nga, they like mga ganyan. Tapos sila naman yung takot maging alone sa dark, di ba? Yun.
Ako naman, ma'am, last two questions. One, what moment did you parang did like Cory Pop wrote a song? Specifically this, okay? Like parang he wrote a song, made you hear it, and you were like, oh my God, this guy is so freaking talented. Parang ganon. Like, ano yung, if you can remember, like, he made you listen to something, or yeah, parang he wrote a song and he said like, oh wow, this is a masterpiece. Sure ball ako. And it really became one. Parang, yeah.
Ang hirap ng question.
Mm.
Kasi as Pop would say, all his songs are like his children. So wala siyang favorite and stuff like
Oh.
that. Pero, kunyari for me, kasi si Pop, hindi siya nagpe-play ng instruments. Pero siya yung gumagawa ng kanta. Siya yung gumagawa ng
Yeah.
melody. Tapos i-record lang niya sa... So bumibili kami ng tape recorder.
Mm.
And then, tapos susulat lang niya sa... I learned my Tagalog from him, Palara ng sigaril, ng yosi. Palara ng...
Palara.
The foil. Palara ng...
Ah.
Palara na papel ng yosi. Diba? Look,
What's
when I start
what's
talking like
palara?
Pop, I transform into Pop, di ba? Palara. Palara ng... He sits in the front. Kaya there's a driver, tapos he sits in the front. This is when we had driver pa. So he sits in the front and then he'll say to me, he'll write it nga in the palarado ng papel and then he'll make me write it nicely on the notebook kasi maganda daw yung handwriting ko. So, mag-hum siya ng ganyan-ganyan, tapos magsasabi lang siya ng, what's a better word, this or that, ganyan-ganyan. So, pag pinakinig na niya sa akin yung song, one song na favorite ko is, wait, oh my gosh. If it takes a lifetime.
Oh, I know that song.
Pero that didn't become a hit, but it's haunting. And because nga, hindi naman nila the Suits, hindi naman nila i-release kung it's not a hit. Parang how can you tell it's gonna be a hit if it? So that was one of our frustrations then. Pero yun na nga, if it takes a
I love that song.
Yeah.
Was he sensitive about like kunwari, let's say Kebs ka. Let's say he'd say, hey, baby,
Sweets. Diba that's what he would call you? Sweets.
Sweets. Yeah.
Sweets.
So he'd say, sweets, listen to this song.
Wait lang, sorry, anecdote lang again. Nakakatawa kasi we were in the movie theater and then my dad said to my mom parang he stood up from the chair, hindi pa nag-start yung movie. He stood up from the seat and then he said, kuha lang akong popcorn, ikaw, sweets. And then like, we were in high school na. And then me and my sister, parang nag-giggle siya. And then I said, bakit? Sabi niya, because Pop just called mom sweets. Sabi ko, hindi kaya. He was asking if mom wanted sweets. And we had this whole debate. And then talo ako. And that was the first time, as in I ever found out that you guys had a pet name. So funny.
Ayun.
Sorry, go
So
ahead.
was he like let's say sensitive or parang parang kung let's say Kebs ka or
To his
parang,
songs?
yeah, let's say hey,
Or if you would edit it.
Oh, I'm writing the song.
Hindi.
and
Okay
then-
lang sa kanya mag-edit. Pero there's songs kasi na di ko talaga type. And then parang feeling ko. And then he admits kasi na ginagawa niya yon out of revenge or out of, parang it's coming from a bad place. So I can tell. Basta the songs that I find it lang parang useless. Parang it's not gonna do anything good, anything productive. Parang ganon. Wala lang. Tapos mag-aaway lang kami about it and then parang pipilit lang niya. And then it's not my name, it's not my album that's gonna be diba? But I'm just doing my job, giving him advice sana. So parang hindi rin nagustuhan talaga, diba? And nakuha niya yung reaction na gusto niyang makuha. Which is nagpo-provoke kasi siya, diba?
Okay. Ako, ito pala. Nakakatawa. Last. So, last minute lightning round.
Okay.
So I always say si Saab is Mom Junior, diba? And Saab says that like she's Mom Junior.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna give a few traits. So you just answer: is it Mom Junior or Pop Junior?
Okay, about
So
Saab?
Yeah, about Saab.
Cool.
Okay.
Cute nito. Cute nito.
Tampuhin.
Pop yan.
Talaga?
Okay.
Pop Junior.
Overly sensitive.
O, tampuhin.
Ay, nga pala, sorry. Ano ba?
I'm thinking pa rin, no?
Puro nega, Jim.
Hindi,
Charot.
teka. Ano tawag dito? Speaks over you.
Oh, that's syempre Mom Junior. Friends! And then he's just like
So patient.
biting his nails
That is
as
Jim.
I dominate the conversation.
Sweet.
Pop Junior.
Aw. Um,
So ako lang yung hindi romantic pala. So siya romantic pala siya.
yeah. Yes.
Si Pop nga, si Pop, yeah. Romantic si Pop. Siyempre kayo, romantic kayo.
Ay, oo, romantic. Si Saab yung romantic actually. Parang,
Every night, pupunta yun sa room, gaganon ako sa kanya. Korean heart finger. Yun yung
oh
romance
nga,
ako.
yeah, you're very sweet. Ano pa?
Kami hindi. Game, tingnan mo to.
Extremely generous. To a fault. At sometimes to a fault.
Pop Junior.
No, that's Mom Junior. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that's...
Sige, Mom
I
Junior.
don't, I'm sorry, ba't ako nakaksaw-saw? Pero, I mean,
Yeah, that's a Mom Junior thing.
yeah. Ano ba?
Yeah.
Generous. I'm sorry, na-stress ako kasi parang biglang... I did not think of this lightning round. Natatakot ako na, parang so...
No! Si
What?
Sam?
Go ahead.
Hindi, kasi nag-iisip pa ako
Okay.
lightning
Okay.
round dapat
Okay.
Dapat bam, bam, bam eh.
Siyempre, cut nyo na lang to, di ba?
This is the first lightning round in our podcast history.
Wow!
Yeah.
Parang
Wala
Boy
na.
Abunda.
That's good enough. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Wala
Good job, Jim.
Gusto ko pa ng ganon.
Okay.
Pop Junior, Mom Junior.
Something.
Makalat.
Pop Junior.
I'm giving you the side eye.
Why?
Mine is organized chaos.
That's what Sam says.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what
So it's
Sam
Mom
says
Junior.
all-
Sige.
That's what Sam says all the time. Nakakatawa.
You are enjoying this.
Ikaw ba? Go. Ikaw pa.
Right ako.
Beautiful, labo.
Ay,
Dede.
Mix
Pop
of both.
Junior,
And Mom Junior.
Super duper, the extremely dependable friend. So she's like the best friend that everyone calls because they're in major trouble and they need their
Well, I'd say Mom Junior because si Pop, although he's a good friend and wala, di ba, wala talaga siyang supposedly kaaway, pero to a fault nga yun sa kanya eh. Masyado siyang parang yung dapat para lang sa family or relatives na pagka-generous nga na ganon. Nadadala niya yun even sa ibang tao. Generous not in a in a
Monetary sense.
yeah, in a material way, but even yung sa time and sa masyado siyang mapagbigay kasi nga probably he just wants na hindi magsabi ng negative sa kanya yung tao, ganon. Parang people pleaser na. Ganon. Pero his heart is in a good place, kaya lang take advantage siya. That's what I wanted to say. So I think with Saab naman, although siya, the best friend you could ever have, Ren. Maganda siya magbigay ng advice.
Aww.
So, nag-iisip talaga siya. Hindi lang may masabi lang na nagbigay siya. Kung hindi niya alam, hindi na naman niya sasabihin yung opinion niya. So, wouldn't that be a best kind of friend, diba?
Yes.
Aww.
Yes.
And Saab is like a really good mom, I have to say. Because it's Mother's Day also. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama.
Yeah, you're my baby also. And wait, here's a secret. Madami kayong nakakaalam na nito. Or have we said this before? No, for the longest time kasi Sab, well, of course, she thought bunso na siya for the longest time.
Uh-huh.
So, when the next child came nga, na 6 years or 5 years after her,
Mhm.
matagal siya maka-adjust na hindi na siya yung youngest child.
Totoo ba yun?
Yes. And until
Cute.
until even medyo older na siya, hindi yung sa kasi older na rin siya eh. Talagang you could see na gusto niya talaga maging baby. So she's always been my baby.
That's not true. That's not true.
Cute.
Is that true? That's
It's
not
true,
true.
Sam. Just before you had your kids, we were acknowledging that eh.
I wasn't a... But talaga?
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, I was more
Eh,
of...
kaya ka nga, di
I
ba,
would
ano
fade
to
into the
you?
background because nga, parang naging middle child ako.
Pero di ba that's why you were biting everything and you had anger issues when you were
No,
baby?
that was before. That was nung bunso
baby,
ako.
baby.
Oh,
Okay.
baby. Ano naman?
Pero imagine, Sab, if let's say imagine Vito, if
Si
like
Vito, grabe yung
5 years
temper
from
niya.
now,
Tapos
magkaroon
magkaroon ng
ng
next child.
baby,
Oo.
di ba? I'm sure.
Ganon.
Hindi, the beauty rin naman with Pancho and Vito is, we talked about this, na Pancho is the kuya, but also he's also the baby rin. Parang, I think, parang
Parang
Vito is kind of a
middle
middle child,
child.
and I think that's beautiful.
But Sab, that's not a bad thing ha, that you wanted. It's just really ganon. It's just
No, it's
nature.
okay.
Yeah, it's
It's
not a
okay.
bad thing. I just find it so endearing talaga na parang you just kasi nga parang our ano nga with her was like, aren't you 12? Like even if she was older na, me and ate would say to her, di ba you're just 12, Sab? And then she would love hearing that kasi parang yun na nga, parang gusto ko lang siya sa maging baby. And parang
Aw.
I couldn't imagine talaga na parang and then but yun na nga, you can tell talaga eh, like when you got together with Jim, parang for me, it was so comfortable lang talaga na palagay lang yung loob ko na yeah, it's like she's gonna be a wife, diba?
Aw.
And that was not a bad thing for me. I was so proud of that, and I was just so happy talaga na you guys got together by the grace of
Aw.
God.
Well, this is a Mother's Day
Yeah.
episode, so let's
Yeah.
ano. I think we'll save that story. I think we need to tell it on the pod. The story of Jim asking for my hand in marriage, because that is such a funny story.
Yeah.
And we'll save it for another time. But
Yeah.
for now, thank you so much,
Happy
Mom,
Mother's
for
Day.
guesting on our
Thank
podcast.
you so much.
And we will try to find the secret pod.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Or if it's not
Ah,
there,
you know what?
we will
I
record another one.
uploaded it.
Yes, it's there.
I uploaded it.
Yes, it's naka-secret lang, naka-private.
yeah.
Okay, sige, sige. Maybe we'll make it a bonus episode.
Pwede.
All right.
Maybe you can discuss it amongst yourselves.
Oo nga eh, when we're offline. Okay.
Hey, I miss you
Bye,
guys
Mom,
really.
I miss you too.
I miss you, Mom.
super. We
And I
haven't seen
miss
you in
eating
so
with
long. Aww. Well,
Because I like Jim's cooking.
okay. Well,
And
we'll
Sab-
see you soon. Well, virtually for now, or we'll see.
I love you
Bye, Mom.
guys.
Happy Mother's
I
Day.
never
We're gonna
wanted
stop
to
recording
end.
now.